Okay, so we're doing what we're calling practice test 3, the one that you guys got last week. And we'll just go through the questions and see how we do. So I'll start with number 1. Question number 1. That's the good one. Alright. So it basically has 0.311 times 4.2. Okay. And you're not allowed to use a calculator for this one.
This one.
Yeah. You guys on that one?
Yeah,
It's on the back. It's on the first page in the back. You turn it.
yeah, this one I think last
You did this last week?
Yeah, but some of them we didn't finish, so that's
Oh, so this is ones that you had already?
Yeah.
So this is not practice test 3?
That might have been the one that Ben went through last week.
This might be the one. This is one Ben went through this already?
Yeah, but we didn't finish it. So
Okay, so tell me where you stopped off.
Okay. So we're gonna start from question, 4.
Question 4?
Yeah.
Okay, 4.
For what?
Okay, 4 on the second one.
Yeah.
Here, the cereal company. This one here?
Yeah.
That's the
Cereal
cubic
company,
inches.
exactly.
Okay. Cereal company. Alright, we'll start there. So, question 4.
Question 4.
So it's part 2, number 4. Okay? You know where we are, Malcolm? Keep on going, might be the same one. Yeah, there you go. Okay. So it says a cereal company is designing containers for a new type of cereal. Each container will be shaped either a rectangular prism or a cylinder and needs to have a volume of 258 and 3/4 cubic inches. Okay. So that's how it's starting, right? So it says it needs to be a rectangular prism. Do you remember what a rectangular prism was?
Yeah.
It's a box, right? It's a rectangle, and squares on the side. It can also be rectangles on all sides. And then it says the volume of it needs to add up to this. So we're going to have to remember our volume formula, right? So it says in one design, being considered for the containers, shaped like a rectangular prism, each container will have a height of 11.5 inches and a length of 7.5 inches. What will be the width in inches of the container? So let's draw it. Number 4, we have our rectangular prism, right? Okay. So it says the height. Okay, well, it's not in proportion, but that's alright. 1/2. And the length is 7.5. So then what is the width? Right? What is the formula for rectangular prism? Do you remember? And you can click, you'll be able to click here on formula sheet to remind you. Volume equals base times height. That's right. Okay. So you'll see this formula: volume equals big B, base times height. Okay. So we have H, but we don't have big B. Do you know what big B is? The big base. So that one is this thing here. Right? So this is height, and this is the area, B. Alright? So the area here is a rectangle. Right? And what is the formula for the area of a rectangle?
Rectangular.
Length times width, right? Okay, so this is something that the formula sheet's not giving you because it's 2 pieces. So you have to kind of remember B equals length times width. Okay? I'm doing it like this because otherwise it looks too much like a 1. Alright? But another thing you can do is, if you're not sure what's going on here, you can just know from the drawing the picture out and knowing what this is, it's all three multiplied together, right? So in the end, the volume equals length times width times height, right? And now we know height is 11 over 2, right? And width is 7 and 1 over 2. Right? Oh no, that's length. That's 7 and 1 over 2. Doesn't matter. But here we go. Length is 7 and 1 over 2. Okay? And width is our unknown. Okay? So what we can do is we can rewrite our formula in terms of the thing we don't know. Right? So we can say we want width by itself. Right? So let's rewrite this equals length times width times height. To get width by itself, what do I do to the element, the h?
We can make a square.
You could make a square, but it's not a square root, so you don't really need to square it. We want to move them from this side and get them onto this side. Right?
Yeah, we can subtract or something like that.
If they were adding, you can subtract them, but they're not, they're multiplying.
Divide?
Divide, yeah. So to get something rid of this, so what we do is we divide by L times H. And what we do to one side, we do to the other side. Like that. Okay? And now the L's cancel and the H's cancel. And now we're left with W, which is what we want, equals V over L times H. Okay? And now we can substitute in everything. This one's volume, remember? Okay, so now W equals V over L times H, which equals what? 2, 5, 8, and 3 over 4. Divide by 11, 1 over 2, times 7, and 1 over 2. Now this is something you should do on your calculator. Okay? So what you do, pull up the calculator, click on the calculator. And for you guys, I'm going to we just do the ones on our phones. C30. Okay, and you're going to do, first of all, we'll do the top one. So you do 258, right? Can you guys share? Yeah, 258. So you do this, 258.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, 258. Okay, and we need then the fraction, right? You see the fraction?
Yes.
Oh, I did it wrong. What I need to do,
Fraction.
first I need to do, see above the fraction, the n over d, you have a u n over d. That's the one for mixed numbers. So I need to do second on that fraction, and now I can fill in all those spots, right? So I want
5, 8.
goes to okay, so you do, this is the button n over d. You do second to get the u n over d on top. And then you fill in 2, 5, 8 in this square. This square will get 3, and this square will get 4. Like that, okay? And you're going to do like an arrow. Right? You guys have like that? Yeah, but it's 255, not 258. Okay, just get the. It's easy to make that mistake. Okay, 258. So now we have that. Now we will do divide, right? And on ours, we'll just do the divide sign. Right, do divide. And then I'm going to put brackets, okay? Because we're doing both of these. So we need a bracket to start it. And then we do the same thing. Alright, so we need 11 and 1 over 2. Times 7 1 over 2 close bracket. Okay? So brackets, again the second, this thing 11 1 over 2 times again 7 over 2 close brackets. There. Just do that, I think.
So here
You're missing a divide though. You divide after the fraction. To divide it. Okay? So this is the, I'm doing this kind of the hard way with the calculator, but I want us to practice. Okay? So let me see. So we have, you need to come here. Right there is divide. Right? This is the top. And then we're going to put a bracket so that we can put all the rest of it inside brackets. Right? So we have 11 and 1 over 2. Let's do another one. 7 1. Is it also over 2? Yeah, 1 over 2. Alright, there you go. 3. Is that an option on there? Okay. This equals 3. That's A. Okay, I will take a picture of this and send it. Let's see, gallery. So, there you go, so you have it. There's another easier way to do it than with the calculator, okay? And that is, what is 3 over 4 in decimals? Do you remember what 3 over 4 in decimals is?
0 over 400.
1 over 2 is what in decimals?
0.
0.1.
5.
1 over 2 is 0.5, okay? And 3 over 4 is 0.
6.
No. You remember, you need to know these. 1 over 4 is what?
0.4.
No.
0.5.
0.5 is half. 1 over 4 is half of this. So half of 0.5.
1.5.
No. The 1.5. 1.5 would be bigger. It's 0.25. So 3 of them is 0.75. Okay? You should know. You need to know these. These are basic ones to know. So now, if we have 385 and 3/4, I could rewrite this as 285, right? 258. I could rewrite it as 258.75. Right? This is 3/4, 0.75 over 11.5 is 11.5 times 7.5. That's a lot easier to do on the calculator, right? If you need, you can multiply these first and then divide this one by that one.
That's me.
Or you divide this and you just put the brackets when you use the calculator. Okay? That way you can do it. So you can try that. Go ahead and try that on your calculator. See if you can do it. These are decimal points. I'll put a multiply sign so we know.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you got what?
3.
You got 3. Good. How about you? You got 3 as well. And 7.5. Yeah, you can write that down and then you do this, divide by that, and you should get 3. I think you're allowed to bring paper to just do with notes on. Then you can. You got 3?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's I made you do it this way first to practice the the fractions on the calculator.
Yes.
But this is why knowing these is so important, right? Because then you can just easily convert it
Yes.
and do a much easier calculator, calculation. Okay. So this is good practice for this kind of thing. And do you see what they're doing with this problem? They're combining the geometry with the fractions and the, it's like all together, they're mixing it together. So that's why it's a bit of a challenging problem. Are there any more questions on this one?
No, exactly. No,
Okay,
yeah.
good. Let's go on to the next one, number 5. I'll just post a picture of it. Okay. So, all right, number 5.
Yeah.
Similar.
Exactly.
So it says now, type your answer in the box. So you don't get a multiple choice. You have to put a number down.
Yes.
You may use number, the decimal point, and or a negative sign. Okay. So in one design being considered for the container is shaped like a cylinder. All right. So now we have. Remember what a cylinder is?
Yeah.
What is a cylinder?
Cylinder like square, right? Circle like circle, right?
It's a circle
Yeah.
and then goes down. It's like a Coke can.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah. So it comes down, around
Mhm.
like this, and we have behind
Mm.
like that. Okay. And then it says the container will have a height of 12 inches. What will be the radius of the container to the nearest tenth of an inch? So we need to know the radius is unknown. Okay. So now, the first thing we do, let's look at our formula sheet, right? So what is the formula for the volume of a cylinder?
Cylinder 2 pi r h. Volume
Volume.
pi r square h.
2 pi r
Sorry.
R square H.
Pi r square h.
without the 2.
Yeah.
That's what I thought. 2 didn't seem quite right. Because it's the circle, right, the bottom, it's kind of like B, but this time instead of a square, B is a circle.
Yeah.
And the formula for a circle is pi r squared times the height. Okay, so now we have V in terms of pi, R, and H. And we have H, so we just need to get R,
Yeah.
right? And we know the volume is the same, right? We know that volume equals 258 3/4, which was what in decimals? Remember?
Which one?
What is this as a decimal? 258 point. What is 3/4 in decimals?
It's
2.5, isn't
7.5.
75. 0.75.
Yes.
Like that. Okay?
Yes.
So 0.75. 258.75. Okay. So this is the volume we need to get to. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say let's try to get R by itself.
Yes.
Right? You can put the volume here if you want,
Mhm.
but I like to leave the variables until the end. 'Cause it's easier for me to work with them. So V equals pi R squared H. First thing we need to do is get R squared by itself. Right? So how do we do that?
Divide.
Divide. That's right. So first we divide by pi H. Okay, the square we need to leave the square in there for now.
Yes.
Okay, divide both sides, pi h. So now we have r squared, I'll do it the other way around, v over pi h equals r squared. Okay? So, but now we need r. So how do you get to r from r squared?
Divide by 2.
You can't divide it by 2. Remember,
Oh, yeah.
r, what does r squared mean?
R squared is 1.5.
No, we don't know yet. We don't know what
We
it
don't
is.
know
Yeah.
yet.
R squared means the number times itself. R times
Yeah.
r.
Yes.
Right? So to get r, we could divide by r, but then we'd have r on the other side too.
Yes.
Right? What it means is anything is a number by itself. So one way you can get to something, like r squared, we do the square root.
Yeah.
Okay? Square root of r squared equals r. Okay? So then we can say we'll square root this side, and we can square root this side.
Yes.
Okay? So this is square root v over pi h equals r squared square root. Okay? And now so that we get r by itself here. So r equals the square root of v over pi times h. And now we can put that into our calculators. Okay? We have v, right, over here. We have h. H equals 12. And we have pi. What is pi?
3.14.
Yeah. So we'll just use 3.14. Okay, 3.14.
7.
So those are our three variables. We put them in, and we should get the answer. So, equals square root 258.75 over pi is 3.14 times 12, right? Okay, so you can do that in your calculator. If you want to do it at stages, you can multiply this first, then divide this one by that, and then square root the number. Or you can put it all in at once. Okay, so you try to do that. I'll do it as well and send a screenshot.
$6.8.
6.8. It's not what I'm doing. Let's see what you got. It's not quite what I got. How did you get there?
So first we have
So we can do it together.
5.8.
So first let's do 3.14 times 12.
Yeah.
What does that equal?
37.68.
37.68. Okay.
Give me 2.6.
Yeah, that's what I got. Good job. So then we do, so now we have 37.68, right?
Yeah.
So now we want this one. So 258.75 over 36.68. We divide those two. What did you get?
You see?
Oh, you got 6? Oh, you just need to square root it.
You didn't put the square root.
So what did you get? What is it? 6.867, let's say. 6.867? Like that? Okay. But that's still within the square root we need to put. Okay? So now we need to square root that. Square root of 6.867 equals 2.6 something.
I don't have a square here.
You don't have a square root here? Oh, you don't. Do you have any other options on this calculator?
No, this one I don't like the
Oh, it's Apple.
play that.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
That's unfortunate. You should turn it on the side. Maybe it gives you something else. Because it should give you more. Yeah, open the calculator. There it was. Okay. Turn it on the side. Did you turn it off? Turn it the other way, maybe? There we go. Yeah, yeah.
This one?
This one. Mm-hmm.
Ah, yes.
Okay, now.
So put the number in and then put that on it, I think. So it was 6.867.
867.
And then click this one. Look at 2. Yeah. Ready?
Yeah, right.
Alright. There you go. I just taught you, yeah, you can turn it and you get all the abilities.
Yeah.
Okay. What does the question say? Because we have to put it on the line, right? So it says the nearest tenth. So if you put 2.62 on this line, you will get the answer wrong.
Yeah, you put the million.
Because you need the tenth. What is tenths? Do you remember? This is units. This is tenths.
Yeah.
This is hundredths, right?
Yeah.
So we need to round it. We have a 2. Does it go up or down?
Up,
Down.
down.
I mean, it stays the same, basically.
Yeah.
If this was a 5, would it go up or stay the same? Up. 5 goes up.
Yeah.
Anything lower than 5 goes down. It stays the same.
Still the same.
So what we write on the bar is 2.6. Okay? That is the only correct answer for this one. Because it's not a multiple choice, so you kind of have to do exactly what they want. Okay, so you were there, you just needed to do the square root.
Yeah.
Do you see how I did it?
Oh,
In mine, I put the whole thing into the
Sit
calculator.
down.
Pardon?
You know what I get here? I get 7.8. What I
7.8?
do at home.
Oh, when you did it at home?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, that's why we're doing it here. Let's see.
Number 6.
Send that. And I'll take a picture. So I just sent, what I sent you is if I did it all in one time on the calculator. Okay? If I took this and just put it in the calculator. But I think a good way to do it is you do each piece, like we did now, right? You do this one first, you write it down. Then you do the next piece, you write it down, then you do the final piece and you get it. Yeah? That's easier to keep track.
Exactly.
Okay. Any questions on that?
But if you do one time also, is okay?
It'll work. Yeah, if you did it one time, you got it. It's fine. I did it one time as well. You just have to make sure that you're getting the right brackets on the calculator. Okay. Six. Multiplication. Alright. These ones were kind of difficult, I think.
Yes.
Okay, let's see number 6.
That is. Yeah,
Oh, it just says multiply. Oh, okay, but it's got x's.
Yes.
So this is our algebra.
Yes.
Right, 2x
Plus.
plus 4,
Yeah.
Bracket x
x
plus 6 plus 4.
minus 4.
Minus 4.
Oh, minus 4. That.
Minus 4. And that's a plus? Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
minus, minus.
so this is, you do outer, inner,
Yes.
Yeah.
right, remember?
Yeah.
So, first we do 2x times x.
Yeah, the square.
That's right, 2x squared, okay. And
Plus
2x, then 4x times
4x is 4x.
plus 4x. Then we do, actually no, we should have done the 2x, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
The wrong order. So first 2x and x, 4x, then 2x times minus 4,
Yeah, 6, 8.
8x.
minus 8x, that's right. Then we do x.
4
4 times x is this. And then 4 times minus 4?
16. Minus 16.
Minus 16. Okay. And any variables the same here?
No. Ah, very much the
Yes.
same.
This
yes.
x and x, right?
Yes.
So minus 8x plus 4x
Four,
becomes what?
4x.
4x or minus
Minus
4x?
4x.
Minus 4x.
Exactly.
Yeah, so it's 2x squared minus 4x minus 16. Is that one of our options? Yes, D.
Yeah. I get C.
So who, yeah, you did.
Yeah.
So who would have thought that the algebra would be the easy one,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
But you guys know this, and it goes quickly. So this one's a nice easy one. Any questions on that?
Nice.
Yeah, you guys know this. Okay, good. Next one.
This one is
This one, I
Value.
try to fix
Oh,
that.
okay.
So complicated.
Which of the values represents a, you know, I'll do a,
Function.
let me switch there, on the 7 here. Okay. It says which of table of values represents a function. So what that means is we need to see something that has a consistent relationship, right? So if we look at A, right?
Yes.
For A, when we go from x, right, it goes down 1, it goes up 1, right?
Yes.
X goes up 1, y goes down 2,
2.
right? So x goes 1, y is minus 2. Okay, now let's try the next one. Now we go minus 3 to 1, so that's going 4, right? So if it does 4, x goes up by 4, right? But what happens to y? Y goes up by 2.
7.
If this were consistent, it should be minus 8, right? Do you see? I'm kind of, it needs to be like each time, they need to be the same proportion that they change. So it's not A.
Let's
Let's
go to B.
try B. Okay, the first one, B, we go from minus 2, minus 2. They both have minus 2, but y is changing,
Yeah.
right? So that doesn't work.
Yes.
It has to be the same.
It has to, like, yeah, it'll have to be the same, because otherwise you can't have
Maybe D or C.
a line, right, where x is minus 2, and here it's minus 5, and here it's also minus 3. That doesn't, it has to be one of those points. Unless it's a line, a straight line, but then actually a vertical line is not a function, so that's also a problem.
C.
The same for D. If you look at D, right, we have 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, all x's, and they change, y changes.
Right.
So D is also like a line like this. Let's see C then. So not D,
X1.
not D. All x equals 3. So not D, not D. Let's try C. Okay, so we have 1.
And 2.
So it goes from 1 to 2. Goes up by 1, right? And y is minus 1. Okay. Oh, we have a problem here too.
Let me try D.
2, 2. So maybe
also-
A is correct. Maybe it's just like,
Zig.
I see what it is. All the other ones,
Yeah.
they all have at least one place where we have 2 values of x. Do you see that?
Yes.
But A is the only one where it's different values of x have different values.
Yes.
You have 2 values of y. But what they're really getting at is that anything that has a vertical line is not a function.
Okay.
A horizontal line can be a function. Alright? So what we're doing, what A looks like, is something like this. We have minus 4, minus 3, 1, and 4, right? And it looks like we have let's see as well as locked. So we have 7 right here,
And 5.
and it goes to 5, and it comes back up to 7,
Mm-hmm.
and then 4 is minus 1. So it kind of goes like that. So I was looking for something that was in a straight line. But the function doesn't actually have to be a straight line. The only thing that determines if something is a function or not is if it doesn't have a vertical line in it. Okay? So when you look at these, C has 2 2's, right? For x,
Yes.
but different values of y. Which means that somewhere in that line you have a vertical line, straight up and down. D is the same, all threes, and B is -2 for x, also has different values for y.
Yes.
And A is the only one that doesn't have 2 of the same in x.
Yes.
So even if you look at these charts and say which one is different from the others,
Yeah.
A is the only one that's different
Yes,
in that.
Yeah.
So it is A actually. So A is correct. But it's a bit challenging.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you guys understand what's happening here?
Yeah.
You can't have a straight up and down line.
Straight up, only
Yeah.
like this.
You can have ours horizontal, but you can't have
Yes.
vertical. So it's not a function, it's undefined as a function if it has straight up and down. Alright, I'm going to take a picture of that. So that. Okay, number 8. What is it, factor? Alright, so it's one of those. Factor completely. Alright, 8 plus 7x minus 6. Alright, so we know it's going to be, we have x squared, x and something, so it's going to be the 2 brackets, right? Okay. And we know one of them has to be x and one of them has to be 3x, right? Because to get 3x like this, it's only 1 and 3. So 1 is x and 1 is 3x. Okay? And now we need to figure out the rest. So one of the ways you could do this is you could go through each of these 4 and multiply them until you get the right answer. Right? If you're not sure, if you look at this and you're stumped, that's actually the best thing to do. Right? And I'll do that first. Okay? Oh no, I'll do that second. We'll do that second. I think it's better to just look at it from the start. But if we look here, now we need to think, okay, 6, right? So this times this equals 6.
2.
So it's either 6 and 1 or 2 and 3,
Yes.
right? So we have it's either 2 and 3 here, or x3 and 3x2, right? Okay, so let's see. If it's 2, this will become 6x, right? And this will be 3x. Right? The 2 times the 3 becomes 6x, and the x times the 3 becomes 3x. So 6x plus 3x, we either get 9x or 3x, right? Not 7. So let's try here. Here we have 9x and 2x. 9 minus 2 equals 7. So it's got to be this one. You see that? This is how we kind of figure it out. We look first at the first one, we know what the x's are, and the second one will tell us what these ones must be. If there's many of them, you have to put them all down and see what you can get. What combinations can make the middle one. So we decided this one, and it has to be a 9, a positive 9, minus a 2, right?
7.
So it probably has to be plus here and minus here because this will become 9
Yes.
minus 2. If
Yeah.
it was the other way around, it would be a negative 7. Okay, so it's this one here. X plus 3, 3x minus 2. Is that on one of our options?
C.
Plus 3, yeah, C. C. Okay? You guys see how I did that?
Yeah.
So what I did is I first looked at this one, because I know, whenever I see this, the outer ones, I know what they're a product of. I know that this one is these two times each other. I know this one is these two times each other. So I put them here and here. And I see which one works.
Hello.
Now the alternative
Hello, no.
is they could have done each one. They could have said A, right, is x minus 6, 3x plus 1, right? Okay, and then that equals 3x squared plus x minus 18x minus 6, right? Which equals 3x squared minus 17x minus 6. Nope, doesn't work. So try B. B, x minus 3 and 3x plus 2, right? So again we get, thank you.
Okay.
So again we get 3x squared, and then we do plus 2x minus 9x minus 6. This will give us 3x squared minus 7x minus 6. Also note, it's plus, right? And we do C. Now you see this way takes longer,
Yes.
right?
Takes longer.
Takes longer than this one, but if you like, you look at this, you're like, I have no clue. You can do this one because we know how to do these, right? So it's kind of like this is if you like completely lost me, like, I forgot how to do this, but hopefully you can remember because we practiced it, right? Okay, so here we have x plus 3, oops, 3x minus 2. Okay, so this again is 3x squared minus 2x plus 9x minus 6 equals 3x squared plus 7x minus 6. There we go.
Yeah.
So it's C. And you do this, when you do it this way, you hope it's not D.
Yeah. This question I did like the
This
same.
one.
Yeah. The next one?
Yeah. This one.
Alright, we'll get to it. Let me just take a picture. Wait, which one is that? Did I miss one?
Probability.
Oh, I did!
You get?
That
Yeah,
one is
yeah.
number 9. I'm sorry, guys.
Yes. Number
This
8.
was number 9. I've skipped number 8. Alright, well, that's number 9. We'll go back to number 8 now. Probability. I think of high school math, I found probability to be the most challenging. Because it's like you have to really think. You have to think about it before you do it. Did I take a picture of it? I did not, sorry.
It's okay.
Alright, number 8. Alright, so number 8 says a house has a large window made of 15 equally sized pieces of glass. Bye bye. Each the same size and shape. There are 3 pieces of glass that are cracked. If a rock thrown by a lawnmower hits the window, what is the probability that the rock hits a piece of glass that is cracked? So I'm going to assume that it has an equal chance of hitting one of the panes, right? Don't think they would ask this question. They would need to give us more information otherwise. So it means that we have 15, right? And we have 3 are cracked, right? So do you remember how we did probability? Probability was the the required outcome
Interest.
divided by total possible outcomes. Okay, so you have to look at, so what is the required outcome? We want it cracked, right? So how many cracked do we have? We have 3 cracked ones.
Yes, yes.
So when it hits it, there are 3 of them that are the ones we want.
Yeah.
Okay? So that means we have 3 on top. How many total could it be? Including cracked and not cracked?
18.
It says its total is 15.
15. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
Large window has 15. 3 of those are cracked. So the total is 15.
Yeah.
We don't add them, it's just 15.
Yeah.
Alright, so what is 3 over 15? Can you simplify it?
5.
5 where?
0,
5 over 1.
1 over 5.
1 over 5.
Because there's 3 here,
Yes.
15 is 5 here. Okay, so it's 1 over 5. Is that one of our options?
Yes.
Yes.
B.
Alright, this one is a fairly easy probability one actually. They didn't give us a lot of hard stuff. But you just have to remember, because I don't think this is in your formula sheet. So the main thing with the probability is you need to say, what's my total?
Okay.
Right? Something can happen. I have so many balls, I have so many rolls of dice, I have so many cards, I have so many coin flips. You know, what is the total that I have? And then I need to ask, the questions ask me, what is the chance of getting something out of that total? So that something is what I put on top, and the total is what I put on the bottom. Okay, and you just simplify. 1 over 5. Do you know what that is in percent? 1 over 5?
Percent?
Yeah.
0.5.
No, 0.5 is 1 over 2. Remember? So 1 over 4 is 0.25. 1 over 5 is 0.2.
Yeah.
You guys need to know these ones too. 2 over 5 equals 0.4. 3 over 5 is what? No. I have 1 is 0.2. I double it, I get 0.4. I add another 0.2, right?
6.
Mm-hmm. 0.6. 4 over 5 is what?
0.8.
Mm-hmm. 0.8. What is 5 over 5?
0.1.
Just 1.
I guess
1, yes.
1.0. Right? We're just adding up. So all you need to remember is 1 over 5.
Okay.
And then all the rest of them are just multiples of that. Right? So like 1 over 5 is 0.2, so 3 over 5 is 0.2 times 3.
you just add 2 more.
Yeah, just add 0.2 each time. Okay? And so the percentage, right, 0.2 equals 20%. Remember, you move the decimal 1, 2.
Yeah.
So when you have 1 over 5 probability, they could have, it's nice they left it as a fraction, but they could have put it as a percentage. They could have asked you to change it to a percentage.
Okay.
You can also do it on your calculator though.
Yeah.
So you pull it up, and you just write in the n over d, right? N over d, and we do 1 over 5, and it'll give you 0.2, exactly. And then turn it to the other side. You probably have a convert to percent. Let's have a look.
0.2, yeah, exactly.
You do apply there, that's nice. Yeah, you know, that's what you can do. Oh, here, stop. So click that. Ah, it's the other way around then. So, yeah, so if you do 20%, this is 0.2, yeah. Okay. So 0.2. So that's just something to remember for this one. Alright, let me take a picture. I think we should take a break.
Okay.
Or do you want to keep going? You want to keep going? How do you feel now, Calm?
Yes, yes.
Keep going? Alright. Let me just grab a drink of water.
Okay.
And then keep going. Alright. That was number 8.
Okay.
Yeah, so we did number 9, the factor, now number 10. Let's see, it has the following graph shows the location of a bookstore in a city. Oh, ordered pair. Okay. You guys can look at it here. And you're just looking for the location. So you just need to find an ordered pair. Which one comes first, X or Y?
X.
X. It follows the order in the alphabet. So X first. So in this one, what is the X value?
X value minus 5.
Minus 5?
No, 5. 2.
The minus is going the back way.
X value is 5.
X is 5, that's right. And what is Y?
Y is 2.
Y is 2. So the ordered pair is 5, 2. You see that? Which one is that?
D.
D. There, that's it. You need to know how to do the ordered pairs. The basic sort of, when you see this graph, you need to be able to read it. The X line is this line. X goes
Yes.
across, right, left to right, and Y goes up and down. Okay? So you read it out, and it has the numbers. So you look, where's the dot? You draw a line down to the x-axis, and the number there is the x value. The y, you draw a line across to the y, and that's the y value. And whenever we write an ordered pair, we do x first, and then y.
Yes, yes.
Okay? So 5 and 2. Any questions on that? This one's another kind of like, not as difficult. You can go through it more quickly.
11.
Let's do number 11. Okay, the equation y equals 45x represents the number of miles y Mr. Miller's car can travel using x gallons of gas. Which data display represents a car that gets more miles per gallon than Mr. Miller's car? Alright, so let's see, we're going to have to look at each one, right? So we have y equals 45x. Okay.
This one, yeah, isn't it? Right? That's that.
So first of all, the first thing I'm going to do,
Yeah.
I'm going to look at the graphs,
Exactly.
okay? Because remember, this means that if x is 1,
Yeah.
y is 45, right?
Yes.
So let's look at these graphs. See, if we do c, x is 1, what is y?
C.
For c, yeah. The graphs are the easier ones to see.
Y is 110.
No, that's for y equals 3.
Oh.
I said for y equals 1. Just draw the line up. The crucial question is it bigger than 45?
C.
C, yeah. So you go to x is 1, and you just draw the line up. See, the line is kind of between 30 and 40.
Yes.
Let me show you. So you go here, here is y. So we start at x, okay, we go 1, we go up.
1 is 30.
So 1 is like 30 or 40, like maybe 35.
Yeah.
Okay? So that's less.
Less.
Because this one has x equals 1. Here, if x equals 1, y equals 45. For C, x equals 1, y equals like 35.
Exactly.
Less. Okay, so not C.
Let's see.
How about D? I'm just doing these ones quicker because they're graphs.
D is 40.
D is 40,
Yeah.
x equals 1, y equals 40. Also not D. Okay, so we've eliminated C and D. Now we have a 50% chance,
Yeah.
right? It's A or it's B.
Okay.
So let's look at A, right? And the first one we have there, oh, here's mine, is so x equals 2, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so if x equals 2, what does y equal? Number of miles, right?
48.
Where did you get 48? Oh, you divided it by 2?
Yeah.
Yeah, that actually works. So if it's 1, it would be 48, right?
Yeah.
So let's just do 2. Y equals 96, right? But for our thing here, for y equals 45x, x equals 2, y equals 90. So this one's higher,
Yeah.
right? And when you did it also by dividing by 2,
Yeah.
you got 48,
Exactly.
which is
More
also
than-
higher. So it's
more
A.
than 45, yeah.
Alright, we don't have to do B.
Exactly.
But let's do B just in case.
Y is 5.
Here y is 5, right? So x equals 5, y equals 195, right? So let's try with our formula, y equals 45x, therefore x equals 5, y equals what? We have to times it by 5, right?
39.
What is 45 times 5?
Set it up.
Oh, you divided this by 5?
Yeah.
Okay, that works. Yeah, and you get 39.
Less than
Less. So it's also,
It's not.
yeah.
10.
It's 8. Yeah.
So not this one either. Yeah, let me just finish that up. 45 times 5. Oh yeah, 225. But I like the way you guys were doing it. You just divided this by this one
Yeah.
to get this. Yeah, that's a better way to do it actually. Alright, so we got A, right? So 11 is A. Okay, I'll take a picture of that.
For the 5 divided by 5, right?
45 divided by which one? This one is 195 divided by 5.
Okay.
And you'll get 39. Or you do 45 times 5, and you get 225 is bigger than 195.
A, answer.
Pardon?
A, answer.
A, yes. A is the answer. Okay, so we just did number 11, right? Number 12. Alright, you ready?
Yeah.
Number 12. Jeremy has a weekend job as a soccer referee. Alright, this looks like a word problem. One weekend he earns $140 by working 4 games. Another weekend he earns $210 by working 6 games. If Jeremy graphs an equation that would represent his total earnings based on the number of games worked, what would be the slope of the graph? Does your formula sheet have the formula for slope? It does. Slope of a line.
Yes.
Okay.
And equal
So m
equal
equals
one.
y2 minus y1, right?
Yeah.
x2 minus x1. Okay. So I think we're going to put the bigger numbers as the y, right? So let's make y2 is 140, fine. It can be negatives. And then x2 is what? If this is 140, how many games?
X2
It would be 4.
4. Yes.
No, because we're doing them together,
Yes.
right? And
X1.
y1
I want 210.
We can do this either way, by the way. 210
210.
and x1, sorry, 6. Yes. As long as they're consistent,
Yes.
right?
Yeah, I mean like first one is gonna be X or Y, it doesn't matter, right?
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
Y, we could say y2 is 210 as long as x2 is then 6. Because this will become a negative, but this will also be negative, so the negatives are going to cancel each other.
Okay.
Often what I'll do in this one is I'll try to make my 2 the bigger number so that I don't have to deal with negatives. So let's do that. Let's switch them out, okay? And now x2 is 210, and we have 6 games. And y1 is 140 over 4 games, okay? And we just do our formula. So y2 is 210 minus 140 over 6 minus 4. Okay, what is 210 minus 140?
210 minus 140.
No,
No. One is 6. It's 70.
70.
70.
70. 70. What's 6 minus 4?
2.
2. And 70 divided by 2? 35. Is that one of our options?
Yes, yeah.
It is. See? There we go. Pardon?
This is good way.
Yeah.
Yes.
See? Did you try to plot it and draw
Formula
it?
is good.
Formula, yeah. You have a
Very
formula.
good.
It says slope.
Was that one formula or kind
All, all you need to remember
Yes.
is that you have the formula for the slope. Sometimes if you're not sure if you have it, you can just click on the formula sheet and see if it's there or not.
Okay.
Right? Like it has a formula for the volumes, it has a formula for the slope, but it may not have the formula for probability. You can click it and see. Oh, it's not there. I have to remember what it is. Right? So this one it says slope, right? Slope of the graph, so you can kind of remember. Any questions on this?
That's good.
One other way you could do it is you could kind of just more do it without the formula. And remember, the slope is the increase over the rise over run, right?
Yes.
So we go from 140 to 210, we go up by 70. And we go from 4 to 6, so we go across by 2. So we do 70 over 2 is 35. This is just a formula way of writing rise over run. So we'll do number 13. A pharmacist is filling small empty bottles with cough syrup from a larger bottle. He can solve the inequality, and he gives us this equation. 1,000
minus 25x
25x is greater than?
equal
Greater than or equal?
to
250. Okay. You see they used that comma there?
yes.
It's a good thing you said 1,000. It's not 1.0. It's 1,000. Okay? To find the number of bottles, X, it can be filled from the larger bottle and still have 25 milliliters left in the larger bottle. Which statement describes the number of small bottles the pharmacist can fill? Okay, so we need to solve for X, right? This is like an equation, but we have to remember it's an inequality. So if we multiply or divide by a negative number, we switch the inequality. Okay. So first, whenever we have an equation, we want to get the variable term by itself, right? So we need to get rid of this 1,000. What do we do? Subtract. So we subtract 1,000 from each side. Okay, so now we have negative 25x is greater than or equal to, what's 250 minus 1,000?
75.
750. You can use your calculator, I think.
Yeah,
You can. But it's basically the difference.
750.
So it's the 1,000 minus 250, but it's negative,
750.
750.
right? So it becomes, the difference is 750, but since we're subtracting the bigger number, this becomes negative,
Yeah, yes.
okay? So it's greater than or equal to negative 750. Okay, now we want x, right?
Yeah.
So how do we get x by itself?
Divide by
Divide by what?
25.
Just 25?
Yeah.
25. 25.
We're going to have negative x.
25x.
I want to divide by negative 25,
Yes.
and we'll get x by itself. Okay? Or you know what? Maybe for you guys, let's try it this way. We'll just do 25, and we'll do step at a time. Okay, so we divide by 25. We get negative x
Yes.
is greater than or equal to, what's 750? Negative 750 divided by 25.
-7.
Negative 30, that's right. The 25 goes into 75, 3.
Yes.
This is 0, so 30. Okay, so now we have negative x is greater than or equal to negative 30. Now we want x, right?
Yeah.
So we can multiply it by negatives.
Yes.
So this becomes x, but since we multiply by negative, we switch the sign,
Exactly.
right?
So,
30. X is less than or equal to 30. So it says the pharmacist can fill 30 bottles or fewer.
It's A.
That's correct, yeah. It is A, because this is 30 or less,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
right? B is 30 bottles or more. No, you can't do that. C is 50 bottles or fewer. Now we have 30. So it's A.
A.
Yes. I do A.
A. Is that what you did?
Yeah, yeah.
Good.
I do it before.
Good job. Okay.
Or now we can do function.
Now we came to the functions.
So this is like similar to we did before, like x.
Yeah, it's
y.
exactly the same. Ah. It's similar to what we did with the line, right?
Just want to move the phone.
Yeah, so you're quite right, Abdullah. Look at this number 14.
Yes.
Yeah, so we have a graph here, and if you look at it, you can see one of them is a vertical line, right? And is a horizontal line.
Yes.
Horizontal lines are okay. The vertical is making it not be a function.
Yes.
So we have to remove one of these points. So let's see, number A is 1, 1. Oh, that's one of our points.
Yeah.
So it's probably A, right?
Exactly.
B is 3, 2. No, that's this one is fine. C is 5, 2. That one's also fine. And D. So we have to do A.
A. Yeah, yes.
No vertical.
Sorry.
Oh, bless you. No vertical lines in a function. So we have to get rid of one of them. So we either get rid of 1, 3 or 1, 1. And so that's A. Because 1, 3 is not on in the options. Yeah. Alright. So it's good. You learned from before.
Yes.
So now it's interesting that they have so many questions on what is a function.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Because we kind of covered that right at the end, and it was just kind of like a little bit of a quick sort of thing. So it's a good thing this is why we do these practice, right?
Yeah.
Because sometimes when we were going through the lesson, we don't necessarily know what the test is focusing on.
Yeah, exactly.
Like I'm just doing all the material. So this is a good opportunity. This is why practice, practice, practice,
Yes.
right?
Yes, you
And
can.
because you guys did that earlier one, now this one you knew what you knew what you needed to do.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see here. Number 15. Alright, so we have a whole bunch of text and a chart. Right? Anne owns an art supply store and is analyzing the store's expenses and income because she wants to increase the store's profits. Okay. Expenses include renting this thing of space, 1,250 square feet of space, for 13,750 a month. The store has only one employee who's paid $8 per hour plus 8% commission. Much of the store's income comes from the sales of blank painting canvases and frames. The table shows the prices of the canvases and frames sold at the store. So I think what we have here is more information than we will need for each problem, right? And then we have the thing. We have the size of the canvas, and the canvas price and the frame price. So do you know what it means, canvas and frame? So it's like a picture.
Yeah.
The frame is the wood
Yes.
outside, and the canvas is like what you paint on. Okay, so they're saying if you have a picture that's 8 inches by 10 inches,
Yeah.
to buy the canvas it costs $6.43, and to buy the frame it costs $25.48. So here are the prices. All right, so now we have some questions. Looks like 2 questions based on this one. So let's look at the first question. The store employee works 35 hours a week. Which inequality can be used to find the dollar value X of weekly sales that the employee must make to earn more than $40 per week? Alright, so we need to look here. So they're getting $8
Yes.
$8 per hour, right?
Yes.
And 8%
8% per hour.
8%
Commission.
commission. Now what is 8% in decimals?
0.08.
That's right, 0.08 times sales value, right? Because a commission is this percentage times the total what you sell.
Yes.
Right? Because if you sell something, if you sell a bigger thing, you get more commission. You sell a smaller thing, you get smaller commission, right? So here we go. Okay, so the total that the employee will get is 8 hour plus, right, 0.08. I'm going to put S as sales, right? H equals hours, S equals sales. Sale value, let's say. Right? So this is the total. And we say it needs to earn more.
Yes.
So this needs to be 8H plus 0.08S must be more than 400.
Yes.
Right? Okay, now we have H, right?
Yes.
H is 35.
35.
So it's
Plus.
8 times 35 plus 0.08
7.
S greater than 400. Oh, they put S as X. Fine. S. X is the unknown, right? So I'll just put that as 35 times 8 plus 0.08 X is greater than 400. Is that any of the ones we have? Looks like.
I think B or
Looks like D. You guys see how I did it? I just went like piece at a time. I said, what do I have? Okay, I have per hour. I have commission. What is commission? It's this. What is the total they earn? It's the hour plus the commission. And I wrote them each way. And then I said, oh, it has to be greater than 400. Once I got here, I was pretty much done. You put 35 in here. And you get. One of the things you can see, instantly you can know that it's A or B rather than C or D. Right?
Yeah.
Because you know the commission is 8%, so it's 0.08. Right? You could be confused with the 35, but it's not 0.08 hours. So you know it's A or B. And then you can say, well, look, it has to be more than 400. So you kind of can see it's B. It's just like kind of looking at it, you can almost figure it out. Okay. Questions on that?
No, it's good.
No? Good. Alright, number 16. This one's going to be with the chart, I bet. Alright, Anne buys her store's art supplies. You can see it's the same thing on the left
Last
side,
time when
right?
I did like extra test,
Mm-hmm.
I got more than 3 questions from this.
Yeah, like this.
Yeah. This
Oh,
one
it's a lot. Yeah.
this one also.
So they'll do that. That one was hard?
Yeah, it's one easy.
Okay, you just have to
I
add
got
them up.
five as well.
Oh, you mean you got 3 right?
I got 3 questions from here, but I wasn't sure which one is right and which one. So now we know which is
Oh, I see. You had 3 that you wanted to ask about. Okay, so, and this one's one of them. Okay, let's see. So Anne buys her store's art supplies from a wholesaler. Do you know what a wholesaler is? A wholesaler sells a lot.
A lot.
Yeah? So she purchases 8 canvases that are 16 by 20 inches for $7.16 each. How much profit does she make on these 8 canvases? Okay, so let's look on the chart. 16 by 20. And canvas, right? So it's really, this is testing your ability to read the chart. So we find 16 by 20. What is the canvas price for 16 by 20?
Canvas price is
11.65.
11.65?
No, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, 11.65. So this is the key. This is the key skill that they're testing here.
Yes.
It says she's buying canvases and 16 by 12. So you have to go to the chart and find its canvas, not frame, and the size, 16 by 20. So this is how much she's selling it for, right? Okay, and she's gotten, but she buys it for how much? 7.16.
7.16.
So how much profit does she make on each one? She sells it for this, she buys it for this. So the profit is the difference, right? So there's 2 ways we can do this. One way we find the profit on one and we multiply it by 8. The other way is we multiply each of these by 8 and we find the difference. Her total sale and her total this. So I'm going to I'll do the profit way first. So we do 11.65 minus 7.16. Okay, so I think you can use your calculator. It has the calculator button. Yeah, let's use the calculator. But let's do this for practice. What do you think? Long subtraction. Alright, so first of all we have a 5 and a 6, so we need to borrow from this side, right? It's 5 and 15, that becomes 9. 5 minus 1, 4, decimal comes down here. This becomes 0 and a 1, 11 minus 7, 4. Okay, so she makes $4.49 profit for each one, but she buys 8. So total profit is the profit. Total profit equals 8 times 4.49, which equals what? Can you do it on your calculators?
8. 35.92.
Yeah, 35.92?
8.
35.92. Okay. Alright. Any questions on that? The other way I could have done it is I could have done basically 11.65 times 8 and 7.16 times 8, right? Get the answers here and then find the difference. We'll probably also do the same. Both ways will get you there. Alright, any questions on that? I think you just need a little more practice.
Yeah.
But the concepts are there, you just need to practice them. Okay, so number 17. What do we got? Oh, a whole bunch of stuff. Alright, Elvin is comparing the costs of music downloads from 3 websites. Oh, so they're basically showing you representation of data in 3 different ways, right? So the first one's Music Mania, it's a standard table. The second one is a graph, Song Central. And the third is just a statement. Okay, so arrange the websites from least expensive price per song to most expensive price per song. Click on the website. So what you'll have here is these 3 you can move around.
Yes.
So you grab the mouse, you click on it, and you drag it.
Yeah.
Right? And you want to have the most expensive, least expensive.
Yes.
Okay. So, let's have a look here. So the number of downloads, we just basically need to divide cost by downloads, right? So we do 3 of them. So Music Mania. We're going to do cost by download. Alright, so Music Mania is, we have 3 and 450. Divide by 3, right? 4.5 divided by 3.
Yes.
You do that in your calculator? What is that? Or you can do it in your head too.
This first one?
Yeah.
The 3 is also
1 point what?
4.50 divided by 3.
Mm-hmm.
1.5.
Yeah. So 1.150. Okay, that's Music Mania. Next one is Song Central, right? This one, we can probably just go to the 1 and go up and read it, right? So 1 download costs how much? On the Song Central.
1 is
2. Yeah, you go across 1, up the point there is 2,
2. Yeah.
right? So equals 2. Read. You just have to read the graph. And then the other one, what's the last one? Song Factory.
4. It's 4.
Yeah? 14 divided by 8. That's not 4.
Ah, 14.
Right, we only have one thing, so it's 14 over 8.
1.75.
1.75. Okay. So what's the order? How would you drag them? Which one's first?
Some central.
The most, so it's the
the
least
song
expensive.
Doctor.
Which one is the least expensive?
This
Then save the music menu.
Music Mania. So we do Music Mania first.
Yes.
Okay.
Second.
And second is what?
Song Central.
Song Central is 2, and Song Factory is 1.75.
1.5.
So Song Factory. And then the last one is Song Central. Okay, so you just drag them in that order. And what we did is I just said, what is the cost of 1 download? What's the cost per download? So I just divided costs by download. For this one, I could read the graph. So I did 1, it goes up to 2. And this one I did again, the costs and downloads to get this value.
Yeah, but here I don't know about this one.
Yes?
How we can do this one like the point
Yeah.
3 here equals 6.
So you could do 6 divided by 3 if you wanted.
Yeah.
So this is the cost. So this would be
Divided by
like
3
6 here,
2.
and 2 would be here. You see, this is the number of downloads.
Yeah,
Number of downloads.
1, 2, 3, right?
Yeah,
One
and
is
so
like the first one. Is this one?
no, so these are all by themselves. Each one is its own thing. Okay, so Music Mania has it in this like level. Then we have Song Central is this,
Yeah.
and Song Factory is this. So what we need to do is we find, okay, the total cost is 450 for 3.
Yeah.
So 1 is 150.
Okay.
So that's music
Ah,
naming.
this is one.
Okay,
It's
then,
equal.
yeah, equals. Because it's the same. 5 and 750 is also 150.
Yeah.
You see 1050 divided by 7 will also be 150.
This also equal.
So it's all 150 for music naming.
Yeah.
The same here. We look, 1 is 2.
Exactly.
Okay, 2 is 4,
Yeah.
which means it's also 2 for 1, right?
So
3 is 6.
equal.
So yeah, they're all equal. So Song Central is 2.
Okay.
And this one we only have 1, 14 over 8. We
Okay.
do 14 over 8 and we got 1.75.
This is a different one.
Yeah, so here's 1.75. So here we have 1.5, 2, 1.75. So that means this one's the most, goes here. This one's the middle, and this one's the smallest.
Yeah. This one is the most.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, now it's clear.
Sorry, the decimal's in the wrong place here. There. Alright, let's see number 18. Ah, the box. Okay, so we have another word problem. Richard goes to the electronics store. He buys 2 memory cards that cost $8.99 each, and 3 packets of batteries that are on sale for $7.47 each. He also buys a case for his cell phone for $2.99 and a wireless headset. So, what is the total cost of Richard's items? Oh, so we're just like adding them all up.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
It's not that hard, this one.
Mm.
Okay, so we have 2 memory cards, right?
Yes.
So we have 2 times, what is it? $8.99?
899
$8.99 plus
plus
3 batteries times $7.47, right? Plus
2 for 99
$2.99
plus
plus
29 for 99.
$29.99. That's it, yeah.
73.
We add that up.
77.
What? 73?
Point
37.
37?
Yes.
Alright. And you write that, 73.37. Let me just put that in my calculator and take a picture of it so everyone has it. So that's going to be 2 times 8.99 plus 3 times 7.67 plus... Yeah. Okay. Yeah, addition and a little multiplication. So, when I put in my calculator, I just did 2 times. I didn't have to put brackets around these. Why didn't I need to put brackets around it?
Multiply, right?
Because it's the order of operations. Multiplication happens before addition.
Yeah,
So that's why you can just put it in straight. Okay, so that's number 18. Number 19.
Yeah, 19.
I'll just do it here. No, it isn't. All right. The diagram shows a polygon composed of rectangles. What is the perimeter in feet of the polygon? All right, let me draw this thing out. So like this, like this, like this, Okay. We have 15,
15 feet,
22,
10,
10,
13,
18,
14,
14.
16,
Right, 16 is this.
16 outside. And
Oh,
five-
wait, 14 is this one.
Yes.
This is 5 here.
Yes, and 5 up,
16,
another 5 there.
another 5 here.
Yes.
Okay. So we need to figure out some of the missing pieces, right?
Yes.
Because the perimeter is just the sum of all the sides, right?
Mhm.
So we need to figure out the pieces. One thing is, this one here is parallel, right?
Yes.
So that means this one top here is going to be this plus this plus this,
Yes.
right? So this is 22 plus 18
Mhm.
plus 14, right?
Yes.
Which equals what?
22.
40, 54.
54, that's right, okay. So we have this one's 54.
Yes.
If this is 16, what is this one here?
Also, it's
Also 16, okay. So now which ones are we missing? We're missing this one,
Yes.
that one. If this is 10, this one's also 10,
10,
right?
yes.
So 10 here. Okay, so now we're just missing this one.
150.
Well, this is 15 here, right?
250.
Has a 5 on each side.
Mm.
So this is 15
Mm.
plus 5 plus 5, right?
Yeah.
Which equals what?
25.
25. You see how I got that?
Yeah.
I said this one's 15, and then we just got these extra 5 on each side.
Exactly.
Alright, so now we just add up all the numbers. Perimeter equals 54 plus 5 plus 16 plus 25 plus 16 plus 5 plus 14 plus 10 plus 18 plus 10 plus 22 plus 15. Alright? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay. Just want to make sure that I didn't miss any of them. Did you see what I did there? I just like double checking. I wrote it all out and I made sure that I didn't miss any. And now you can do it in your calculator. What do you guys get?
P10.
210? Malcolm, did you get that too? Okay.
210.
Good. So this part's easy. We just have to put it in our calculator, right? The hard part here is just figuring out all the missing pieces.
Yeah.
And make sure you don't miss any of these ones. Like this one's a sneaky, this 10,
10.
right? But yeah, you calculate that and you have it. Which is D. Alright, last one. Last one. Like something with that perimeter problem if you have spare paper, it's worth your time to draw it out the way I did.
Okay.
So I think it helps to think
Yeah.
about it visually.
Yeah.
It makes it easier to catch anything. Because this will be on a computer screen, so you can't draw it on the computer screen, so you can kind of draw it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, just that it helps you.
Yeah. Sometimes also they give like
You give paper, I think.
yeah.
You can take paper. Okay, so number 20. Justin is exchanging dollars for rolls of quarters and rolls of dimes at a bank. So do you know what a quarter and a dime is? Yeah? We have $1 4 that equals 10. Alright? So 10 dimes is $1 and 4 quarters is $1. So then we have a roll, so we have a roll of quarters. We have a whole bunch that are worth $10 each, and a roll of dimes is worth $5 each. He exchanges $90 and receives 11 rolls of coins. How many of each type of roll of coins did he receive? Okay, so this is the full word problem. Right? So what we need to look at is, first of all, one roll of quarters is $10. So let's do Q equals $10, right? And D equals $5. Okay. And now he has just exchanged 90,
Okay.
right? So the total equals $90, right? Total is $90. And we don't know how many of Q and how many of D we have, right?
Yeah.
I'll just put an arrow here because it's not equals, it's for these. Okay. However, we do know that however many Q we have $10 times that, right?
Exactly, yeah.
So we have 10 Q plus how many dimes we have, it's $5 times that, right?
Yeah.
So plus 5D. 10Q plus 5D. Right? And altogether equals 90. Right? So this is what we know that how much how many quarter rolls we have, how many dime rolls we have, the total will equal 90. Right? If we had 0 dimes and 9 rolls of quarters, we'd have 90. With 0 quarters and 18 rolls of dimes, we'd have 90. So this is one formula. The problem is we have 2 now.
Yes.
We also know that the total number of Q plus the total number of dimes is how many? How many rolls did he buy in total?
11?
11. So we also know this. Okay? So we have 2 equations.
Yeah.
There's 2 ways we can do this. One is you solve for one of these variables and you substitute it into the other one. And the other one is that we subtract one of these 2. So I'll do the first one, the substitution method, okay? So if Q plus D equals 11, what does Q equal? How do we get D onto this side? This is through Q by itself.
6.
We don't know.
Oh.
No, this is for the money. The 5D is for the money. We don't know what Q and D are. But I want to write Q by itself on one side of the equation. Subtract. So we subtract D from both sides. Okay? So now Q equals 11 minus D. Okay. So we have this here. Now we can put Q in here. Right? So if 10 Q plus 5D equals 90, Q is this. So it becomes 10, 11 minus D plus 5D equals 90. Do you see what I did there? Right? I solved for q by itself. Now since I know what q is in terms of d, I can put that instead in place of q. And now I have just d. When I have one variable, I can solve.
Exactly.
That's my goal. I'm trying to get one variable. Okay? So let's do this. 10 times 11 is what?
110.
110, that's right. 10 times minus d?
No, we do 10.
Minus 10d, yeah? Plus 5d equals 90. You know what, my d's are kind of hard to tell from other numbers. Let me put them as lowercase. That might be easier. D, q is 11 minus d. No, sorry, that's a d. So q equals 11 minus d. Yeah, is that easier to track? I think it's easier to see than the capital D. Yeah, okay. So 110 minus 10d plus 5d equals 90. So first of all, what's 10d minus, or minus 10d plus 5d?
Minus 5.
Minus 5, that's right. So we get 110 minus 5d equals 90. Okay, now we want d by itself, right?
Yeah.
So what do we do?
Cross.
Subtract what? You can subtract the d.
100 by 9. 90.
By 5.
So okay, you want to subtract the d?
No, it's 5.
No, but
No.
we want to get the d variable by itself.
Yeah.
We want to get rid of the constant.
Exactly.
Move it to the other side.
90.
Minus 90.
You see, minus 90, you're going to have them both on this side.
By 110.
So we subtract 110 from each side.
The answer is
Alright, so that becomes minus 5d
4.
equals
One
negative 20.
Yes.
Right? Now we divide by 5d. By 5,
equals
sorry.
4.
That's right. d equals 4. Alright, so d equals 4, right? q equals 11 minus 4 equals 7. Okay?
It's B, right?
7 quarters? Yeah. And 4 dimes.
It's a B.
Yeah, and we can check it. 7 times 10, 70. 4 times 5 is 20. Adds up to 90. I'll show you one other way we could do this
It's
though.
not easy.
Okay?
Yeah.
And that is the subtraction method. So I wrote out these two equations. And I say I want to have, I'll put it over here, the subtraction method. Okay? We have these two equations. Now we have 10q plus 5d equals 90. So you remember, whatever you do to one side, you can do to the other side.
Another side.
Now
Yes.
I want to subtract the whole equation, so I want the d's to both be 5. So multiply both sides by 5.
By 5.
Okay, so now I have 5q plus 5d equals 55. You see that? And now I subtract this whole equation. Okay? Because this is equal to this, right?
Yes.
So remember, whatever I do to one side, I do to the other side. So if I subtract this from this side, because this equals this, I can subtract that from that side. And it's still, I haven't changed the equation.
Yeah.
So I'm subtracting 10q minus 5q equals 5q. 5d minus 5d is 0. 90 minus 55 is 45. You see that?
Yes.
And then I divide both sides by 5.
5 is 9.
And q equals 9. That's not quite right. Right? Q's supposed to be 7. I feel like I did something wrong.
Then I'll go to 7.
Yeah, it's
7 times 5. 7 times 10.
Yeah, that's strange.
You do place of 5, 7,
Pardon?
make it 7,
Oh, it works.
make it 7, right?
It works. I can have Q as 9. No, it doesn't work because there are a total of 11.
Your Q is 7.
Pardon? Q needs to be 7, yeah.
Yes.
So I'm not sure what I did wrong here.
You can make like 7 by 4,
Hmm.
7 cube and
That is strange.
4D.
Yeah, no, it should be 45. Oh! 90 minus 55 is 35.
Yes. 7, yes.
No, because it's 55. I thought 90,
Yes.
because 100 minus 55 is 45.
Mm,
But it's 90, so it's 35.
25, 7.
Yeah, I was like, what is going wrong with my math?
There
Okay,
you
there we go.
holiday.
I was like, no, this method is supposed to work.
Yeah.
Okay, so the problem was I didn't do this part right.
That's right.
Okay, I made a mistake.
Yes.
So 90 minus 55 is
35.
35.
35.
Divided by 5, we get Q
Seven.
equals 7, which
Yes.
is, so therefore D equals 4.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, sometimes I make say this 2 instead of 8 times 4 is say 2.
Yes.
I make that say 6.
Yeah,
So
so that's a
subtract.
common.
The answer is wrong. You think,
Yeah, like, what did I do wrong? I was just staring, I was like, what did I do wrong?
Exactly.
Okay,
Exactly.
so it works. This way also works. In some ways it could always be quicker,
Yeah.
right? This way. But this one I feel is more, you feel you know what you're doing with the substitution.
Exactly.
But this one, if you want to try it, you can try it. Let's subtract the whole equation.
Yeah,
So you get just the Q.
yeah.
You can solve it out.
I did something different, like
Yeah?
just I multiplied 7 times 10 plus 4 times 5 in order to get like 90. We'll see it here.
Oh, you tried these ones?
This one.
That's a good way to do it. That's actually one of the methods that the book tells us to do. That you can go backwards
Yeah.
and you look at the problems. You say, well, 4 rows of quarters is 4 times 10 is 40,
Yeah.
and 7 times 5 is 35. 40 plus 35, 75. Doesn't work. Next one, B.
Yeah.
7 rolls of quarters, 70. 5 times 4 dimes, 20. 70 plus 20, 90. Ah, B.
Yeah.
And I might even have been faster for this one, to do it that way.
So this one, if like 10x 5y equals 90, also it works. You can try to fix it like as we did like 10q and plus 5d. We just like
This one here, yeah.
first one there. It worked right instead of like d, you can put like y.
Yeah, you could do 10Q and 10D.
So yeah,
It would also
instead
work.
you can like 10x plus 5y equals 90.
Yeah, you can do X and Y. That's
Yeah,
fine. I just did Q and D because they're related to the...
Oh, good.
I like to use a variable that's...
This one is
Yeah, like, part of the reason for me Q and D is I don't have to remember which one. Y is quarters or dimes.
Yeah.
Q is obviously quarters, D is obviously dimes.
Yeah.
That's the thing, it's a variable. It doesn't matter. I could use a smiley face.
So this one only we put in the bracket and then we subtract, right?
This one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So without bracket we can't fix it.
You have to do the whole thing. You just have to remember you're subtracting the entire thing.
Yeah.
So each variable you're subtracting from each one. You could do it with you could do 10Q
Yeah.
plus minus and 10D is would be 110, right?
Yeah.
And then you'd have negative 5D because you'd be subtracting 10D from 5D.
Yeah.
So if negative 5D equals 110, 90 minus 110 is negative 20.
Yeah.
And we'd be right here.
Exactly.
Teacher, what?
Yeah.
10Q plus 5D multiply.
I'm saying I did this one to do the D's, but if I wanted to do the Q's, I'd multiply this by this one by 10.
I can,
And
yeah.
then I'd have 10Q plus 10D equals 110.
Yes.
And then I subtract it from here, and the Q's go away, and I'm left with the D's. Right? I'd have 10D and 5D, so I'm subtracting, so it'd have to be negative 5D. I'm subtracting 110, so 90 would become negative 20. And that'd be here.
Okay.
I'm getting D. You can do it either way. when you're doing subtraction. You just kind of decide which variable am I wanting to get rid of.
Yeah.
I multiply it by that to get those variables. And if this was like 2, this was 2D and this was 5, you could multiply this one by 2 and multiply this one by 5. And you still would get,
Okay.
it's a bit like when you do fractions.
Yeah. We did a lot.
We did! Good job, guys!
Yeah.
1 hour.
And it's 9 o'clock.
2 hours.
2 hours.
This is
Okay.
a lot.